Welcome. City of Lamarque City Council regular agenda of November 13th, 2023. Notice is hereby given that the City Council of the City of Lamarque, Texas will conduct a regular meeting on November 13th, 2023, beginning at 6 p.m. in council chambers at 1109 B Bayou Road, Lamarque, Texas, as well as via video conference hosted through Zoom. According with section 551.127B of the Texas Local Government Code, the presiding officer and the quorum, the Lamarque City Council intend to be and will physically be present at 1109 B Bayou Road, Lamarque, Texas. This location will be open to the public, and the meeting will be broadcast at this location on Channel 16 and via YouTube. The council will meet for the purpose of considering the following agenda. The meeting has been called to order. Kiara, would you give us a roll call, please?
Okay. Councilmember District A.
Present.
Councilmember District B. Looks like he's online.
I'm present, and our location is at a, what's this? At a Burger King in Nicoya, Costa Rica. And by the way, I believe that when the end of the world comes, not only will the ants and the roaches survive, but every fast food place as well. So they're all around here. Present.
Councilmember District C is not with us just yet. Councilmember District D
Present.
and Mayor.
Present, thank you. We will now move to our invocation and pledge. We will ask Councilwoman Kimberly Yancey to lead us in our invocation. Council Member James Ross to lead us in our pledge.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you on tonight, thanking you for yet another day. We thank you for freedom. We thank you for liberty. We thank you for our democracy. We thank you, Lord, that we're able to be in the city hall and in our chamber. Father, we ask that you would give us great mercy and grace. We pray that you would give us wisdom to make the best decisions for our citizens. And Lord, now we pray for protections over our city. We pray for our children, our elderly, and our middle age. We pray for all the citizens that you will keep us safe in your arms. Help us, Jesus, to be where you have called us to be. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Yancey and Mr. Ross. We've now come to presentations, and this is where we have a conversation with Ms. Leyva. Ms. Leyva, are you here tonight? Would you please, oh, there you go. Here's the conversation. We can move up our canvassing to now and then swear you in, but you would be subject to vote on all of the agenda. Do you feel prepared to do that tonight? Or we can, the second option is allow for the canvassing of the votes and then swear you in. It's entirely up to your preparation level. You want to go with canvassing first? Let's then, council, move. Item 9. Oh my goodness, what is that? 9-9? Let's move council item 9-9 up. This is resolution number R-2023-0079, canvassing the election returns and declaring the results of the special election held on November 7th, 2023. Council, I will entertain a motion.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Sure, it passes unanimously. Ms. Leyva, welcome to the Lamarque City Council. Let's give Ms. Leyva a round of applause. And forgive me, Ms. Leyva Allred. I know you as Ms. Leyva. We went to school together. I'm so sorry. Mr. Allred is here somewhere tonight, who I also worked with for several years. And so at this time, I believe your father, who was also our Spanish teacher, is coming to swear you in tonight. Welcome, Mr. Leyva. You may come forward. I believe, Mr. Garcia, you have the, or Miss Nance. Okay. Very good.
Oh, it doesn't matter. So if you want to set it down here, you can. We can try that. Thank you.
I, Melanie Allred, do solemnly swear
I, Melanie Allred, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Council Member District C of the City of Lamarque, State of Texas.
you borrow that. That I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of the council member, District C of the City of Lamarque, State of Texas,
And will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, and the charter and ordinances of this city.
and I will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, and the charter and ordinances of this city.
And I furthermore solemnly swear that I have not directly or indirectly paid, offered, or promised to pay, contributed, or promised to contribute any money or valuable thing, or promised any public office or employment as a reward for the giving or withholding a vote at the election at which I was elected to secure my appointment. So help me God.
And I furthermore solemnly swear or affirm that I have not directly or indirectly paid, offered, or promised to pay, contributed, or promised to contribute any money or valuable thing, or promised any public office or employment as a reward for the giving or withholding a vote at the election at which I was elected to secure my appointment. So help me God.
Yeah. Have to have some estrogen. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. This is certainly a great day. Democracy at work. Thank you, Gus. This is certainly a great day. Democracy at work. Ms. Allred won a special election here for our District C. And certainly congratulations again, formally and officially. But as our custom here tonight, we would give you some time to express your thanks. And certainly any other items of note that you'd like to have at this time, Ms. Allred.
I just want to say thank you for y'all's faith in me, and I hope to make y'all proud and bring the city everything that we deserve, and to help the people to get their voice out there and get them heard.
Thank you, Ms. Very good. Very good. And we certainly welcome you, and we look forward to working with you
Thank you.
and doing wonderful things in our great city. Item 4.2, communications update. Mr. JB Pritchett, I believe. Welcome, JB.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. The majority of what tonight is about is just, I think, a general update. I have had a few guinea pigs, one of which on council, some of which in the community, a lot of staff already kind of utilizing what I've been working on, which is our mobile app. Our mobile app was, I think, a dream, a will of council that was meant for a couple of things. And I will get into that in my presentation this evening. But as of right now, in either Google Play or the iOS App Store, our mobile app is finished, updated, and downloadable and usable for council, staff, businesses, citizens, all of the above. And I will go over a few of those finer points right now. So about the project as a whole was mostly really just meant as a way to navigate our website, a way to navigate something that we kind of already utilize as the city, something that we're striving to utilize better, something that we are, trying to use to enrich the digital space, not only when it comes to picking up agendas, handouts, all of the above, but again, to communicate the business of the city, what's going on, the will of council, and so on and so forth. Next slide, please, Scott. The mobile app, principally, one of the major things that I wanted from it was the connectivity. Wanted anybody to get the information that they wanted from the city at any given time. The ability to connect with other residents as well as connect with us on a city channel is evidently important. Mayor Kyle, as you know, in emergency management state of point of view. So one of the biggest connectivity points that we used to develop the app was the ability to send push notifications in the event that we had an emergency. If we had a storm, we haven't quite gotten all the information back about the legality of what we can use push notifications, whether it's an emergency. If you've downloaded and signed up, it's a little bit easier than if you're just sending a text out to every phone that is in this cell tower region. And so again, the connectivity, we wanted to, if you've downloaded the app, be able to send you something that we're talking about live on the meeting right now. On the mobile app, you can also watch council meetings. You can watch all of our televised meetings that we put on channel 16, YouTube, all of the above. And so that is accessible through our mobile app as well. Number two being the updates. That's just everything that has to do with, again, agendas, board meetings, job openings, new business, cultural developments. If we have events going on, if we need to send out an update the day of Bayou Fest to say that mutton busting has been changed from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock because the sheep got too hot. The point is the app gives us the ability to communicate that to constituents and citizens. The user-friendly point number 3 was a big portion for me, just because everybody is different levels of tech savviness. And just because you can program a mobile app, I think to make it user-friendly to someone who doesn't use apps all the time is really the key there. And number 4, accessibility. So if anybody wants information that they can find on our app with 3 to 5 clicks, rather than having to scour the website until we update it, or call or email or try to track down, or any of the above. Kyle, if you go to features, thank you. One of the major things that we kind of talked about in this app is the news flash, being able to send out what's going on in our city, what's going on as far as our Christmas parade coming up on Tuesday, December 5th. Shameless plug, everybody better be there. Number 2, notifications. Again, if we need to send out something as far as updating for a boards and commissions meeting, or something of an event such as Arbor Day coming up, or anything like that, you can send out those notifications as we build out, hopefully with the different departments and boards and commissions that will be able to push that stuff out. Number 3 is agendas. I knew living in as we created things in the city of Lamarque, agendas, all the information, documentation that we utilize that is government documentation for citizens to be able to reach very quickly was a major point. And so that's on there as well. Number 4 is bill pay. You'll be able to pay your bills directly from the mobile app. You can log into the portal and pay as if you were paying any other time. Number 5 is a request for concerns. Us as staff, one of the major things for us as we constantly look at whether it is a pothole, whether it is a street sign that is down, whether it is a light that is out, all of the above. From staff meetings, what we talk about and what drives us a lot of times are these request tracker databases. And so I know it's something the city manager works off of, all of the above. And so as that is going to be a driving force as we get into 2024 on making sure that people can even use the app to take a picture and submit that, that they would be able to, submit a request tracker and put in 2 to 3 sentences what the issue is, and what needs to be done. Moving forward, as you can see here, it's a very quick screen grab of the updated website. I haven't really shared it with anybody as far other than internal, just as far as checking bugs and so on and so forth. But as you can see, it does somewhat mirror what we have with an updated skin to show the importance of alerts. We talk about this throughout hurricane season and emergency management, about city government and the departments, what each one of them does, how the restructure of our city is echoed into our day-to-day. Our utility billing, again, being able to pay your bills and so on and so forth. If you'll notice down beneath that, there are added buttons, and that really will focus into, again, what is ever at the forefront of the business of the city. As council and the citizens dictate what they want to see and what they need on a regular basis, we can, again, customize this on a much more regular basis. We built it out this time so that it can be updated more regularly. It can be more user-friendly. It's mobile accessible, and it will integrate with our mobile app. Other than that, the things that I put on there was just about being able to incorporate, again, economic development, the idea of tourism, capitalizing all the visitors that we get in Galveston County, whether that they're coming here to visit the Texas Coast region, or they're here for festivals or any of the above. The transparency and accountability are some hot topic words that we hear often. And again, getting that documentation and everything out there 3 to 5 clicks away is really what I'm striving for. Again, this was a big part of our smart city integration, something that we have discussed for a while, what council has kind of driven from TML and from some of the presentations that we've had in months past. But really what this is first impressions matter. It matters to people wanting to move here. It matters to businesses wanting to move here. That's not only important for our city streets, our infrastructure, but also our digital space. And so this has been a major update for really the launching of our mobile app. But again, to let you know that the website, where it's typically about 11 months, we've done it in about 3.5, and it should be done by the end of 2023, able to go live first or second week of January 2024. Other than that, if you have any questions or concerns, you need a how-to tutorial, I'll be filming one of those. You can email me, PR, City of Lamarque. Again, my phone number, all that information, but if council or anybody had any questions.
Council, do we have any questions for Mr. Pritchett at this time?
So the inside Lamarque edition, that's also going to be in the app.
It will all be in there, yes, ma'am. So as we continue to build out the mobile app, right now we have, I believe 9 tiles. And again, that goes to the user friendly. I didn't want there to be too many too early on. And so as we continue to add to that, yes, ma'am, we'll be able to add all of those publications, newsletters, information as it goes in and out of our city government.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Any further questions from council?
So this is basically going to be like a one-stop shop. When you come to Lamarque, you can use this app, and this app will basically give you information about tourism, where to go.
My plan is to incorporate when we have, not only of our city parks, my plan is to kind of integrate it with Google Maps. So you can it'll take you one link and then you can see the park. If you're visiting from out of town, you kind of know what you're getting into. It will give you a list of calendar dates and festivals. Again, I'll have more time to present the new website before we are officially live to council, but a lot of the calendar and everything that we talk about as a city, whether it's city events or it is special days such as Election Day, or it's MLK Day, or anything like that, will all be integrated in a one-stop place. Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Mayor,
Yes, go ahead, Joe.
I think, JB, I heard you say that this app was already available on the Apple Store and at the Android. Did I hear that correctly?
So to make a long story short, sir, they published the app before they should have. And so whereas it was available, it was not complete.
So it's not available from the.
It is available now. Yes, sir. You can download it as of right now in the United States. of Costa Rica.
What's the name?
If you
what's the
just
name?
search City of Lamarck,
I
you
just did. Nothing came up.
What kind of phone do you have, Joe?
This is an Android, what is it, the Play Store?
Right. So in the city of Lamarck, could you show them?
All one word, separate?
separate, sir.
Yeah, nothing comes up. City of, let me see if this is it.
Mayor
No?
Tim, I can send you a how-to PDF to your email.
A how-to, I don't need a how-to, I just need a name and I'm putting it in here and nothing's happening. That's my question.
It could be because you're in Costa Rica too.
No, I've got my AT&T
He
International
just pulled it up,
service.
so it's in there.
We'll be sending you a link shortly, Mayor. Pro Tem.
Okay, all right.
You're in Burger King, Joe. You're in
That's true too. I mean, that's,
We'll try to make
All
sure
right.
you have it.
well, good. Well, this is something I've been asking and encouraging Cesar, and I'm pleased to see this progress being made. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any further questions? Mr. Pritchett.
Yes, sir.
I won't elaborate too far into my next statement because it'll take us off of our agenda item. The agenda item calls for a discussion about the city app and website. My conversation with this administration was for us to have a detailed discussion about a communications department. And so I'm looking forward to have that discussion on next agenda. We need to look at having a communications department with goals and missions and coordinating with all of our boards and commissions. Also being led by our community, the needs of our community, but also being guided by this council. I believe our communications policy is all over the place. Not that it's your fault or anyone's fault. It's just that we've never had a communications division before, and it's time we're growing. And so I'd like to have that discussion, Gus. I'm going to leave that be where it is, but I want to say thank you for your update. It's an excellent update. Thank you.
Thank you.
Citizens participation, item 5. Comments from the public will be heard at this time. Any person with city-related business who is signed up may speak to council, limited to 3 minutes. If you're wishing to speak, you may give the mayor or the presiding officer your full legal name, address, and item you wish to speak about. In accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, the city may not deliberate on comments. Personal attacks will not be allowed. Personnel matters should be addressed to the city manager during normal business hours. Press *6 to mute or unmute yourself if you're participating via telephone. If you are participating via Zoom platform, on a smartphone, a tablet, or computer, you may press the microphone icon in the lower portion of your screen. If you are attending in person, you may approach the podium before us. Give the mayor or the presiding officer your name, address, and you will be heard. Are there any persons wishing to speak online at this time, Kyle? Hello, if your name is Ginger.
Yep.
Ms.
That's me.
Ginger, good evening. Are you wishing to speak tonight?
No,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
thank you.
Any other persons? Let's move to those that are here present with us tonight. Mrs. Mary Lamonis and Mrs. Carla Smith. Welcome, Ms. Lamonis and Ms. Smith. Give your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Mayor and citizens of Lamarck. My name is Mary Limones and I reside at 2709 John Street. And I have Miss Carla Smith here speaking with us to a community event. She's with G County Hope Foundation, and I'll let her talk about that.
Hello, I'm Carla Smith. Hi, Miss Yancey. Hi, Mayor Bill. How are you?
Hi.
I'm with G County Hope Foundation. This is Mary brought it. Lamarck, she took over the Lamarck chapter last year. We've been doing this for 10 years. This year will be our 10th year. We go to It's G County Hope Foundation. We only cater to the children on Christmas Eve. That's what our foundation is for. So we go to 5 locations in the county and we try to hit every city. So we go to Texas City, Galveston, Lamarque, Hitchcock, and we used to do Dickinson before COVID, but we're trying to bring Dickinson back. But as far as Lamarque goes, normally we used to go to the store. We don't have a Lamarque set location. So last year, Ms. Loomis did Car by Park. So this year we are asking to have it actually on the Lamarque side because technically Car by Park is not Lamarque, it's Texas City. So we are asking to have a permanent location for our Lamarque location, which we would like to have it here in the parking lot. We do it every Christmas Eve is the day that we give out the toys. We don't do a sign up. We do it's just really just free. It's free. But the kids have to be present, and each location do different things. So we always try to provide food, and each kid gets at least 2 toys. So this year we thought it would be a good idea to bring it to the actual Lamarque side instead of West Texas City side. So, because that's like we're really hitting Texas City twice.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
and I think she gave everyone a proposal.
Yes, ma'am, we have it.
Yes, so this is our 10th year, so we're just trying to make it strategically for Lamarque instead of making it unfair where we're going to Texas City twice.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, let you finish.
That's it, Mayor. Any questions?
We don't have any questions, but certainly we will ask that you work with Mr. Garcia directly on any issues that need to be worked out, and he will definitely forward those issues to the council.
Okay.
Thank you all for doing this. Yes, ma'am.
And Mayor, if I may, just to follow up on what the mayor said, the council can't deliberate on the public comments, hence the follow-up with the city manager.
Very good. Mr. Rashard Loftus. Welcome, Mr. Loftus. Name and address for the record, please.
Good afternoon, Rashard Loftus, 309 Johnson Street. So got a couple things here. One, I want to let the public know that we are having a tree giveaway this Saturday for the KLMBC. We'll be at Highland Bayou Park from 9 to 12. So our citizens are welcome to come out and get a tree for Arbor Day. But then I want to go back to something that I've mentioned here several times before, and that's the pay for city employees. We have a need for an equipment operator, someone that can operate this great all that we got sitting over there that's been sitting idle for probably 3 years now. I'm asking the council to take a look at the pay for that position. I've been told that we don't have the money to pay a qualified individual to come in and operate that equipment. And I'm quite sure myself and a lot of these citizens here would be glad to see that machine being utilized. I have an issue in front of my rental house right now where the ditch needs to be graded, and there's nobody to operate it. There's a request in right now for that ditch to be graded, and it's probably going to still be just a request because there's nobody to operate this equipment. So you as a council need to take a look at that issue to make sure that a qualified person can come in here and get on that machine and start using it. It don't make no sense that that machine is sitting there. We've had this conversation. I've had this conversation with several people, citizens alike, and it's getting to the point of being ridiculous that it's still sitting there. Next thing I got is about 3 years ago, I mentioned the mosquito machine. It's been said during budget season that we were gonna, be getting it. Haven't seen it yet. Haven't heard that it's coming. Well, I've heard that it's coming. I hadn't heard that it showed up yet. So I'm waiting on that along with other citizens. Tired of waiting on that too. Code enforcement. We got a new code enforcement officer, supervisor. Had a brief conversation with him. I'm kind of happy to see that this guy's here because some of the ideas that he told me he's going to be implementing is some of the very same things that I had mentioned before that I was told couldn't be done. So maybe we got the right guy in code enforcement this time around. That's all I got.
Thank you, Mr. Loftus. Item 6, council. Minutes. Guess we'll take all these together.
That's fine.
6-1, special city council minutes.
Mayor, excuse me, I'm sorry, but I think maybe Ms. Ginger Manette did want to have a public comment,
Did she, Ms. Ginger?
if she's still there.
She said she didn't, Joe.
Oh.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I was here.
Ma'am.
I'm sorry, I didn't sign up. Ginger Manette, 809 Grassy Knoll Trail, Lamarck.
Yes, ma'am,
I
go ahead.
I just wanted to let y'all know that we have been looking into repairing the sidewalks in Saltgrass. And there's a less expensive way to do it. We did have one of them fixed that was a very dangerous hazard on the main road. Someone could have tripped and cracked their head open, and it was really bad. So we have fixed that one, but we're still waiting on the decision, I guess, to see whose responsibility it's going to be or what, but we had to get that one fixed because, like I said, it was definitely a dangerous hazard. So that's it. That's all I got.
Thank you, Ms. Ginger.
Thank you.
Item 6, minutes. 6-1, special city council minutes, 10/23, 2023. 6-2, regular city council minutes, 10/23, 2023. 6-3, regular city council minutes, 7/10/2023. 6-4, special joint, city council and EDC minutes, 9/25/23. 6-5, regular city council minutes, 6/12/2023. And 6-6, regular city council minutes, 2/13/2023. I will entertain a motion.
Motion approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Council, are there any corrections or omissions or additions? Hearing none, we will call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Item 7, public hearing. Conduct a public hearing to hear public input on 7-1, ordinance number letter O-2023-0012, amending the city's zoning map and comprehensive plan by changing the zoning district for a tract of land commonly known as 1005 Bayou Road. We will close the regular meeting at
6:34.
6:34. We will open this public hearing at 6:34 as well. Is there any person in this audience wishing to speak to item 7-1? Any person in this audience? Yes, ma'am, welcome. Please state your name and address for the record.
Donna Bergen, 113 Elm Street, Highland, Texas, 77562. I am representing Mr. Cragen. I'm the realtor for that. He's having to tend to his father tonight or he would be here. And he knows this is just a formality. Is the final reading for this, correct?
Just a formality. It is an action item. I can't promise you it'll be a formality, but it is an action item, I believe. Is that correct, Gus?
That's correct. The city has a 2 reading process on its ordinances, so the council has the right to vote again, essentially on second reading.
Okay. And was there any other information that the city needed from him or myself?
Let's see. Is there any other information? Mr. Garcia, Mr. Knable?
There's none that I need, Mayor.
No, sir.
Council, do we have any questions concerning this issue for Mr. Cragen's representative?
Mayor, I do have a question.
Yes.
This is by way of information only, and of course, I'm
Is
supportive of this.
it, Joe, is it for Ms. Cragen? Because this is public hearing. We're gonna discuss it later.
Oh, the public hearing, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right, I'm
this is
sorry.
just for
Yeah.
her as a
I'm sorry,
representative of-
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Anyone else? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other person wishing to speak this public hearing tonight? Any person online wishing to speak on item 7.1? Hearing none, we will close this public hearing at
6:36.
6:36, and we will reopen our regularly scheduled meeting at 6:36. Move now to item 8, ordinance. Discussion, possible action regarding approving 8.1, ordinance number letter O-2023-0012, amending the city's zoning map and comprehensive plan by changing the zoning district for attractive land commonly known as 1005 Bayou Road. This is the second and final reading. I will entertain a motion.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Any opposed? Item 9, resolution. Unless otherwise specified, the city manager is authorized to execute all necessary documents upon final approval by the city attorney. 9.1, resolution number letter R-2023-0071, accepting the results of the 2021-2022 audit report. I will allow for questions at this time. Mr. Garcia and Ms. Turner. Mr. Garcia, would you ask Ms. Turner to approach, please?
Certainly, Mayor, and if it's all right, we'd like to pull this item. There was something else that we may have found at the last moment. We did not have time to pull this item prior to this meeting, so we would like to formally request for this item to be pulled. Our auditor is requesting to have a little more time so we can bring that back corrected at the next meeting.
Very good. Council, do we have any objections to the administration's request to pull item 9.1? Hearing none, let's move to item 9.2. Resolution number letter R-2023-0072, casting votes for the Board of Directors, the Galveston County Central Appraisal District for a 2-year term. Mr. Garcia, would you shed some light on this resolution?
Yes, Mayor. As is custom, there's a list of folks that is listed before you in your packages for you to cast your vote for any one of those members that you wish to do so. And it is available for public view as well. And we'll entertain whoever you would like to cast that vote for at this time.
Very good. Any questions for Mr. Garcia as relates to this item? Hearing none, we will entertain nominations from council.
I nominate Matt Dole.
Matt Doyle has been nominated. Ms. Yancey, does Matt Doyle have a second?
Second.
Matt Doyle has been nominated and second. Are there any other nominations from this council at this time? Hearing none, let's move then to vote to recommend or to cast votes for or not to cast votes for Mr. Doyle. All in favor for casting our votes for Board of Directors of the Galveston Central Appraisal District for a 2-year term for Mr. Matt Doyle signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 9.3, resolution number letter R-2023-0073, authorizing suspension of December 4th, 2023, the effective date of the statement of intent of CenterPoint Energy's changes to rates in the Texas division. Would this be you, Mr. Garcia, or would this be
Gus is
Gus?
handling this one.
Sure, Mayor. This is going to affect citizens within the who receive their natural gas from CenterPoint Energy here in the city of Lamarque, Texas. They have filed a request to recover certain non-gas $37.4 million from all CenterPoint gas citizens in the state of Texas. That's in non-gas revenue. The city of Lamarque, as do other home rule municipalities, have the right to suspend that for 90 days. To study that in more detail. So the effect will be to suspend that rate increase on the citizens out past the Christmas holidays.
Council, do we have any questions for Gus on 9.3? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
There's a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
9.4, resolution number letter R-2023-00 7.4, approving a final plat for Ambrose Section 3. Council, do we have any questions for Mr. Garcia on item 9.4? Self-explanatory. This has been in the works for quite some time. We will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 9.6, resolution number letter R-2023-0076, authorizing a purchase order to Core and Main LP for pipeline repair materials in the amount of $75,000 for the 2024 fiscal year. I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Item 9.7, a resolution number letter R-2023-0077, authorizing Atlas Copco Air Plan for blower replacement at the wastewater treatment plant. I will entertain a motion. Is
So moved.
there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item 9.
Mayor,
I'm
I
sorry.
think you missed 9.5.
Did I totally miss 9.5?
Yeah, resolution.
Oh, my goodness. Where are we now?
Attico.
Man, we got far, didn't we?
Mhm.
We did 9.7, yes? Did we get the vote on
Yeah.
9.7?
No.
I thought we just did.
9.7.
What do you have for 9.7?
Yeah, we did 9.7. We need to do 9.5.
Okay, now I missed 9.7, going back to see if he's.
Well, let's call for the vote. Do you got the, do you have the motion in a second?
I have, Mayor Pro Tem and Councilman Ross.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's then recall for the vote for 9.7.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let's backtrack 2 steps and pick up 9.5. Resolution, thank you, Mr. Ross, for catching that. Resolution number letter R-2023-0075, authorizing a 2024 fiscal year purchase order issued to Attico Engineers LLC for engineering consulting services. I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? Now we are at item 9.8. Is that right, Kiara? Resolution number letter R-2023-0078, authorizing the issuance of a rebid for an associate judge. Mr. Garcia, would you like to refresh our memory?
Certainly, this is an item that came up through executive session. I believe it was last meeting. The thought process was for us to reissue the associate judge RFP. In fact, we only had 2 respondents. The hope is to cast a wider net this time, see if we can get further respondents on that. We will invite the ones that did respond to also respond once more. And then we continue the process to obtain a backup judge, should we need one.
Council, do we have any questions for Mr. Garcia as it relates to item 9.8?
What is your goal? Is it 3
sure.
or 5? I mean, what is your goal?
Minimum of 3, we would normally like on responses whenever possible.
And when you say minimum of 3, you're talking applicants
Yes, sir.
and not associate judges.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Joe, did you want to?
Yeah, just one clarity. One thing I noticed in the posting of the RFP versus the first time around. We specifically had the discussion about opening the possibility of service to a wider audience.
Right.
And so we were using the criteria to qualify the qualifications. We had some educational qualifications, but we basically were also saying there was a possibility if you've met certain educational qualifications that you could serve as well. You didn't necessarily have to be a kind of the qualifications of serving as a justice of the peace. You guys remember that?
Yes.
So that was the biggest difference that I saw as I reread the RFP. So I just wanted to point that out.
You can also list it in HGAC as well. To
And-
make sure
That's
it's
true.
listed in HGAC. You can go to law schools, recently graduated schools of law. We have about 4 or 5, I know, right here in the Houston Galveston Metroplex to try to get a wider net.
That's true.
How was it posted? Was it posted just for 2 weeks?
No, originally it was posted for a month.
Over a month, okay.
So,
Let us
so,
know when it's posted. I'm sorry.
so Joe, what you're referring to as we try to educate and inform is the idea that a justice of the peace in this state, as well as a municipal court judge, does not have to be an attorney.
That's correct.
So that's what we're articulating. And so you're suggesting that we open our net to cast a wider net to include all persons that might be interested.
Well, I think that we placed a minimum educational requirement as opposed to the JP. We at least were looking for someone with an undergraduate degree,
Gotcha.
an undergraduate college degree,
Gotcha.
4-year, as I recall.
Any further discussion on item 9.8? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 10, City Manager's Report. Mr. Garcia.
Thank you, Mayor. Would like to bring special attention to a few items on here of note. Item 10.3 is our official award notification I will share with the public and with council about the award for sidewalks. We will be getting sidewalks as part of this grant that will stem from Texas Avenue all the way through Maine on State Highway 3. Kudos to the team for making sure that we were able to receive that. Also, I like to highlight item 10.4, our participation in the City Smart program offered by Texas New Mexico, that we were recognized for our participation and completion of that program in this last phase. Besides that, if there's anything of note that you would like to, for us to have any questions, last item, if none, would be the TERS update that I would ask Gus to handle.
So I have a question. You mentioned Texas, New Mexico. Did we ever finalize that? We're kind of doing a survey because I did have requests for a couple of lights on Duro that have not been acted upon.
We're still soliciting for any lights that may be out. Are you talking about new lights or lights that are out?
New lights.
New lights. We'll be coming with that study representation at the next meeting that we're presenting to you as early as December.
Okay. All right, thanks.
The total of 1,100 new lights that we're proposing minimum.
Susan.
Sir.
Refresh our memory. We have this award for sidewalks on Highway 3, but there are also sidewalks being installed on Texas Avenue as well.
Yes, Mayor. There's actually 3 sets of sidewalk projects that we're doing at one time. There's a Texas Ave project that will go on both sides of the street. First side will go from I-45. It was originally supposed to go to Auburn on the Texas City side, but it's actually going to go a little bit further down to West Lawn. So on both sides of West Lawn, from 45 all the way down, you'll have sidewalks on both sides that be provided by TxDOT. The second one is our Main Street sidewalk project that will take sidewalks from 45 on Main Street all the way to State Highway 3. And this would be the third. So eventually there will be a full connection loop. Once we repair some of the sidewalks on Texas Ave, that'll take you pretty much all the way from Texas Ave on 45 down to State Highway 3 up to Main, and then connectivity. So you'll have a whole U connection that you'll be able to have through that transit corridor.
Very good. Good deal. Any more questions for the city manager's report?
How many, I know we're on the Marque PD quarterly report. That's part of your report as well.
Correct.
How many cops do you have total?
45 minus 8. We are at 30. Do I math real quick? 37 right now. Total sworn is 45, and we have 37 of those 45 currently on staff.
And we're eventually moving to how many total? Like once we're fully staffed?
45 would be our total. We have 8 right now vacancies. And I believe as last time, and I thought I saw Chief a second ago, we had 8 folks that were already going through the next procedure.
So right now we have 8 vacancies and we have 8 people going through the academy.
8 either going through the academy or going through the hiring process to see if they would be selected.
I'm still not, I'm not happy about your diversity. It still has not improved. If anything, it stayed the same. And that, I think it's gone down. So I know we've talked about recruiting. We talked about it, but I haven't seen any results yet. And we need to see some results? I know we talked about recruiting, but what has changed in recruiting? Do we know?
We've made more efforts towards recruiting and casting a wider net, making sure that we do reach out to other sectors. We have made strides in some areas as far as that. We have a diversity report we were going to have on this report. There was a change we needed to make as far as some updates with some turnover that we've had. But we look forward to bringing that updated report to you in December. One thing I will ask Chief to include in that is to include the comparison from the last time we made that report as well.
Based on your report, we really need more women. We only have 5, I believe, and more African Americans. That we make up 31% of this population, but less than 4% on the police staff. So I know that's going to be a question that people are going to ask. What do my constituents will ask? That is 75% minority will ask, what are we doing to improve that number? So I want to be able to let people know what are we doing differently than we have in the past, because that number has not changed. So I would like to see a report on something in writing that we plan to do to improve that number.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Yancey, I have a question for you. Which
Yeah.
line are you looking at? I'm seeing the percentage of City of Lamarck who are African-American at 32%.
No, we have 3 total. I'm looking at the manpower diversity report, the first page.
Manpower diversity report.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. The one that says effective 10/26 of 23.
Yes. It's
Well,
has, you have
and
1
you-
detective and 2 patrol officers. That's a total of 3. And if you look
Well, you-
at female, are you talking about female?
No, I'm looking at that box that's right below. It says rank total. It says percent of sworn who are African-American, 9%. Percent of City of Lamarck. I guess City of Lamarck is not the police department. It's all employees. Is that what that means?
That would be the correlation as to what our residency total is by race.
Percent of
used
city,
to be
oh, I
5.
see. I see what you're saying. It's
Right.
the percent of all of the city of Lamarck, 32%. Okay, of the residents.
Mhm.
Demographics, I see.
It used to
I
be
see.
5, today it's 3. It was 5 in 2020.
Percent of,
No,
Wow.
5 people, 5. Today it's 3.
okay,
That's a big-
I understand now.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Caesar, I'd like for you to elaborate just a little bit, maybe more than a little bit, on our TERS update. And this is a TERS that involves Omega Bay, is that correct?
That is correct.
Can you give us a more of a detailed update on what's happening with that?
Gus was handling this report.
Yes,
That's
Mayor.
fine, Gus.
Sure. So we had committed to have Sue Darcy. Miss Darcy is the individual who helped the city set up the TERS back in 2019 or so for the Omega Bay area. She, through some scheduling issues, part of which were mine, it took a little longer than we anticipated. But we do have her scheduled the 29th, I believe, to have the TERS board meeting with them for her to come, and it's important for her to come so that she can talk to the board about what the discussions were at the time and what specifically the plan. I mean, because we have the financing document that says, here's how much we think it'll cost. Here's how much we think we're going to raise. Here's how we think we can do it. But it's important for Sue to come with that on the ground knowledge to talk to the board about that so that we can try to come up with a plan that is both fiscally possible and something that the city would be willing to do. Because right now what we're looking at is receipts, but there is money there, but is it enough money to do what the board wants to do? And what does the board, and if it is not, what does the board want to do? And then also that issue that is ever present in Omega Bay, the use of public dollars.
Is that Kyle? Is that? Oh, thank you.
Sorry,
Yeah, you're
that
fine.
was not me.
You're fine.
The use of public dollars on private streets in this case, as it has been in the past, private street lights. Those are all issues we can work through, but it's important to have Sue there to talk to the board about that.
Is there any member of the board here tonight?
The chairman, Mr. Budi, sorry, Doug is
Doug,
here.
I see Doug and I know he's here, but I had to say it like that. I'm the chair and I'm recognizing you as a member of that board. Is there anything that you'd like for this council to know? Anything that we need to be made aware of? Do you feel like you're being treated fairly? Do you feel like things are being moved along according to what you all are requesting? This is your time to tell us all at one time.
Thank you. I mean, we're moving kind of slow and it's a new thing for us as a board and also for y'all. So I would say communications are a little lacking as far as, we weren't aware that the 29th, we know that's specifically what we requested, but I haven't seen any feedback yet on that. So other than that, until Sue comes in and gives us any kind of background on what we need to do, it's a slow moving process. But as far as Gus and them, they're doing a decent job for us, I think. It's communication could be a little better for us, I think, on that.
And the 29th, as I said, that was on me.
We also have Al if he wants to speak up.
Welcome.
I'm Al Horsica, 14 South Skimmer Street, Marque, Texas.
Yes, sir.
I've been a member of the TERS board since its creation. And just to reiterate on what Doug said, we do have communication issues. We send emails out, we don't get responses. We ask for financials, we don't get the response to that. We're just asking that, on a timely manner to notify us, give us notice. We get meetings scheduled, we get them canceled, we don't even get notices, maybe at the last minute. We're asking that if that could be corrected.
Absolutely.
We'd be grateful for that. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Council, do we have any questions for these two gentlemen as they represent this board? Hearing none, we will certainly move.
Mayor, I do have a question. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff.
And it's in English, not in Spanish. So one of the things, and I attended the TERS meeting. It's something perhaps the board, our council should consider. The TERS board doesn't have a council liaison. It's not on our list of ex officio members to that entity. So I would urge that perhaps we also take this opportunity to update our liaison list and let's have some representation of a council member as we have with the Parks Board and the other Keep Lamarck Beautiful. I think it would be helpful in overcoming some of the issues that were identified.
It's a good idea. Got a good idea. Excuse me, Joe. I believe Mrs. Allred. This is Miss Allred's district, so certainly we could have that in the works on next agenda, so we can get her assigned to being our liaison. Very good.
Good.
Mayor, I would
Go
like to
ahead.
go back to a point.
Yes, ma'am.
The Lamarck Police Department, the data that was in the packet, what is that? The arrest data, the calendar year metric. Can you put that up for us? Kyle, it's in the packet. That's all in the city manager report, right?
The what?
Yes.
The part that was in the city manager
Yeah.
report. The rest, the crime data.
What were you asking about, Ms. Shancy? I'm sorry.
I wanna look at that.
Oh, you want to put it up? Okay.
I want to put
got
it
you.
up.
Yes, ma'am.
one of the things I was looking at over the weekend when I was looking at the data, that's why I think it's so important that we have a community that reflects who we are. And for some people that may not be important, but I think it is when we're talking about the public safety and making sure that we really hold the line on crime. We are now at a 7.82% national interest that may go up. And anytime that kind of happens, money doesn't move. And some of the ones that are really impacted by that are middle class and lower class. And so I wanted to commend our police officers for working together. It's really nice when you go to other cities and they tell you about the changes that you see within the city of Lamarque, the positive changes when it comes to crime. I am concerned about some of the issues that we've had just in the last 45 days, not just in Lamarque, but also in Galveston County. And that's why it's so important that, Chief, we continue the community policing, that we really try to work on our diversity to reflect our own percentage. We're a very diverse community. And that's something I think we need to really keep working on so our data can continue to improve. We've been very intentional the last 2.5 years about crime in Lamarque, about trying to be one of the safest cities in Texas. And anytime the interest rate is at its highest in the last 20 years, we need to be concerned about that and perhaps have more meetings, perhaps make sure that we talk again, Cesar, with some of our community groups with community policing to kind of let them know what some of the data, what happens sometimes when the interest rate in America goes up. Because I think we can make this time a teachable time and make sure that if you see something, say something. Because we don't want our communities to be afraid again not to say anything. Because I did get your report over the weekend about the young lady that was found in the road. That was very disturbing to me. And I think that's something that we cannot ignore as a community, that we do need to call it out and say, what happened? What is going on that you have people? I mean, I just saw a man the other day walking like he was out of his mind down Lake Road with no shirt. I hadn't seen that in a long time in our city. So I want to make sure that we're working with our Gulf Coast community, with the Gulf Coast Mental Center, to make sure that when we see those people that may need help, we don't, I don't know what's out there as far as it's on the street, but we definitely want to work with our community partners to get those type of people some help. Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to say, to show that, because that once people see the data, and this is data that we all have the same, and am I saying this right? We have the same systems that all cities go through.
We have the same reporting.
Reporting system.
League City that
Right.
reports to 22 cities in our consortium.
Right. And because we are trying to be a city that's very intentional in fighting crime, we have no reason to lie. The data doesn't lie. So I wanted to make sure that we show that in this meeting, and that we have any question, please get with our city manager and our police chief, because that's what I do when there's a question of doubt. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Yancey. I want to, before we go off of this point, Mr. Garcia, I would like for you to email this council on a breakdown of that communication breakdown that has been happening with TERS. I would like the council to know where the communication breakdown was, and I would like for you to have some simple steps that you're going to implement, share that with council to resolve those communication issues with our TERS board. And that should include Mr. Compion's suggestion that we add a council liaison to that TERS board, being the council member of District C. So if you can, we need steps. We want to make sure that we are responding to concerns of the community. Right? Thank you. Any further questions? Very good. Item 11, new business. Items presented to council for discussion and possible action. Item 11.1, request for proposal. Discussion possible action to approve and release the release of a request for proposal for the construction of the Main Street Sanitary Sewer Repair Project.
Thank you, Mayor. This item is one that we brought to you already for Main Street project. It was brought to you when we did our bond allocations. Rick is here if you have any questions specific to this item. This was one of the necessary items that we have. We are having SSOs on this line, and it's a needed repair that we need to take care of as soon as possible. We're to entertain any questions.
Council, do we have any questions for Rick as it relates to item 11.1? Hearing none, we will call for, Kiara, did I entertain a motion yet or no? We will entertain a motion. Thank you.
So moved.
Is there a second? Is there a second? We couldn't hear you, Joe. We saw you, but we couldn't hear you.
He's muted.
Second.
Very good. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 11.2, request for proposal, discussion, possible action regarding the authorization of a request for proposal for a grant administrator to submit an application for grant funding for a flood mitigation assistance project through the Texas Water Development Board, funded by the Federal Emergency Management Administration. Any questions for Mr. Garcia or Rick concerning item 11.2?
I do. I'm confused, Cesar. Isn't this our agreement, part of our agreement with Grant? Was it Grant Works?
No, Mayor Pro Tem, this would be an additional funding source. This would be in addition to the ones that we already have. We're seeking additional funds to keep addressing some of the drainage issues that are occurring within our community. This is an additional opportunity that was brought to our attention that we are seeking your approval to go out and find a grant administrator. Because it is use of federal funds, we do have to bid those services out. And this is our opportunity to do so.
Okay, thanks.
Any more questions for Rick or Mr. Garcia as relates to item 11.2? Hearing none, we will entertain a motion.
So
Is
moved.
there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 11.3, request for qualifications, discussion, possible action regarding the issuance of a request for qualifications for city attorney legal services. I will entertain a motion.
If I may, Mayor, before y'all start, I just want to be very clear that I'm recusing myself from any discussion on this item.
Very good. Thank you for saying that. Certainly that will be entered into the record. Let's move toward entertaining a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second? Is there a second? The motion dies for lack of a second. Item 11.4, notice of funding opportunity for the fiscal year 2023 Thriving Communities Program. Mr. Garcia, would you elaborate?
Yes, sir. This is a possibility of a zero match and a zero cost grant opportunity for us to enhance our transportation plan. The city does not have a transportation plan. We have applied for different funds of transportation, but this was allow us to create a plan. This is a technical assistance grant. So it is not for an actual construction grant, but it is technical assistance to create a planning grant application so we can pursue that. It seems like a great opportunity as far as the fact that there is zero match necessary, and it is more of a service and not so much funds. So we are seeking your recommendation for us to pursue this application.
Any questions for Mr. Garcia as it relates to 11.4? Any questions for Mr. Garcia as it relates to 11.4? I will entertain a motion. Is that right, Kiera? I'm entertaining a motion.
So moved.
Is that a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 11.5, cancellation of meeting, discussion possible action regarding the cancellation of the regular city council meeting on December 25th, 2023. This is not what we are voting on. We should be voting on November, is that right? Or did we?
We approved November last
We
meeting.
already approved November.
Makes sense. Let's do December. Thank you all for helping me out on that. Discussion possible action regarding the cancellation of regular city council meeting for December 25th, 2023. I will entertain a motion.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Again, this is tradition to cancel the second meeting in November and the second meeting in December as they are holidays, or we are in the midst of holiday seasons at those particular times. We'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
11-6. Discussion possible action regarding the job description for the deputy city manager's position. I asked that Mr. Garcia put this on the agenda. I believe, Mr. Garcia, you were to email council your the information that you've gathered, the works that you've done on the job description. And this is our time to collectively give you feedback so that that job description will be reflective of what this council has heard from the constituency as well as the needs of your staff. So if you would like to.
Thank you, Mayor. Before you also printed in your red folders, I printed out a copy of what was emailed out to you. It is a sample brochure of what would go out. We wanted a professional document that would allow us to hopefully recruit a great flock of professionals who would be interested in the position. Similar to the brochure that was used to that is used by many of these hiring services to bring certain candidates for city manager and assistant city manager or deputy city managers. We created this brochure in-house, so we did not have to hire any consultant to do it. We created a job description through the assistance of our HR office, as well as through my office to put something together. We updated with some newer pictures that we have on here. We wanted to share the description that we have. Obviously, we could not stamp draft on it. I apologize. Obviously with the font, you probably wouldn't be able to see it anyways. We wanted to create a professional setting that would allow us to best present our best foot forward towards a potential applicant. As far as the duties are concerned on there, we looked at some edits that we needed to make up until earlier today. The first thing this morning when we send this out to all of you for review, we also wanted the opportunity to share with you a printed copy of what is intended if there's no further changes or any other descriptions that you guys would like to add. Obviously, it's not stamped draft, but it is in draft form until we release it. We're hoping to commence recruitment next Monday, November the 20th, and conclude it by the end of the calendar year so we can commence interviews shortly thereafter.
Council, let's open this up to questions for Mr. Garcia as relates the deputy city manager's position. Joe?
Yeah, observation, first of all, one of the strongest advocates for this deputy position has been Councilmember Yancey, and I respect her for that because she's been very, very conscious of the hard work that you've been doing, Cesar, and wearing many hats in this transition period. And so I certainly hope that you really listen to some of the guidance that she has with regard to at least her thoughts with regard to this position. Along those lines, however, I'm just going to make this comment. You're looking for someone with a bachelor's degree in business administration, economics, urban planning, or related municipal experience. And it traditionally, and this is traditionally, Mayor Bell, you might chime in and confirm this. Traditionally, we've not had either city managers that have had that sort of background, much less a deputy city manager. I think that in terms of our ability to catch a wider net, that perhaps that requirement is something that is a bit perhaps well, I'm not going to say it's overboard, but I'm going to defer to Ms. Yancey and others and their thoughts there. But I'm just making the comment that it's above what I normally have seen for the city of Lamarque.
Thank you, Joe. Any further comments or questions?
So this particular agenda item is to do what again? Because I was a little confused when I saw the packet.
It's to give Mr. Garcia feedback on a job description and responsibilities as relates to the deputy city manager position.
Right. So when we looked at best practices for cities our size and for some of the growing pains that we have, that's why I felt it necessary to have a deputy for you. I agree with Joe. It needs to be someone that I believe has management experience, especially crisis management experience and disaster experience. I remember when Hurricane Harvey came, we didn't have a lot of people on staff that understood the housing element of housing and how you could get those vouchers back. And we had to kind of set up shop, those of us that were trained in HUD at the local hotels, to show people how to fill out the paperwork for that, because there was no one in the city that knew how to do that adequately. And then someone that knows how to work with our emergency management team to set. I still think our library should be that place for disaster information, that one-stop shop for that. And that the city manager can be that person that can help coordinate that. But a deputy is always someone that can do the same job as the city manager and step up if need be. But it's pretty much the same job, but you may have different responsibilities, but it's someone that definitely knows how to deal with crisis management.
Any further comments? Joe, you're right. We've had city managers in the past who have not had bachelor's degrees, and they've made very effective city managers. And so what I would suggest as relates to that portion, I would suggest, Mr. Garcia, that we allow for cumulative experience, municipal experience that perhaps would equate to a bachelor's level education. And there are folks that have worked for municipal government for 15, even 20 years that would probably be even more effective than persons who are just coming out of their formative years of college education. So I agree with that. I am mostly concerned with the idea that this deputy manager has to be the point person for the day-to-day operations of the city. That would be my input from my experience level. The city manager's job is to develop partnerships, to build coalitions, to help the council cast the vision for our community, right? Those upper level things that take time, and they take the development of relationships. And if you are embroiled in the day-to-day operations as you have been, you will not be as effective as you could be. And so this position certainly has to call for a person that can manage the day-to-day operations of our city government. Those are the two things I would encourage you to add to this document. Any further questions on item 11.6? Mr. Garcia, you're asking us now to then approve with these changes for you to move forward with this position?
Certainly, Mayor. If you so approve, obviously amending these changes that we've made note of here tonight, we'd like to update this package and formally start getting it out as early as the end of this week, latest starting next week.
What is your expectation of having a person?
My expectation is for us to release on no later than Monday, the 20th, closing by the end of the calendar year and commencing interviews right at the beginning of the calendar year of 2024.
So springtime, perhaps?
Our hopes would be to get somebody in halfway through Q1. So February 15th would be our hope.
Very good.
I mean, that depending on
Sure.
the person, the candidate, but that'd be the ideal.
Sure.
That's 45 days into the calendar year.
Sure. Council, Mr. Garcia is asking for approval to move forward with this position as already approved in our budget. I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing no.
Mayor, excuse me, I just would like to make just one comment.
Yes, sir. Go
With
ahead.
regard to this. I wonder, because I'm even considering writing a book about this, the forgotten Lamarque, or what we forget Lamarque. We forget at one time here recently, we had a city manager and we had 2 deputy city managers. And that certainly turned out it was not something the council had budgeted, but we, it was a transition period there. So I share the mayor's observation that city manager always has to be at the forefront, and but having a deputy is important in terms of the workload and having the effective administration of the city. So that's my comment there.
Very good. We'll add to that, Joe, that the city is growing. We are not the same size as we used to be. And so with more population, with more rooftops, with more economic development, with all of the other issues that we face as a community, this definitely would be perhaps an efficient way to resolve issues that you face as a city manager, being overwhelmed with our growth. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we will call for the vote. Is that right, Kiera?
Yes.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 12, appointments, reappointments, or removal of members of boards or commissions. Council, do we have any appointments, any reappointments, removals from boards or commissions for council to entertain tonight?
Mayor, I have a recommendation to appoint Ms. Ginger Manette to the Board of Adjustments. I think Ms. City Secretary Kira Nance has her application and all her details as well.
I do.
All right, Ginger Manette has been nominated for the Board of Adjustments. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Can I just say one thing? You'll have to put Virginia on any legal documents.
So it's Virginia Manette.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for that. Council, do we have any other nominations for appointments to other boards or commissions?
I'm gonna renominate for the Board of Adjustments, Billy Jefferson for District D. At this moment.
Councilmember Ross is reappointing Mr. Billy Jefferson to the Board of Adjustments. Any other nominations for boards or commissions? Hearing none, we will now ask for a second to those nominations.
Second.
And there's no discussion on nominations historically, and so we will then move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 13, item 13, requests and announcements. Council requests for future agenda items and announcements regarding future events. Did you want to lead off, Mr. Garcia? Is that you with 13-1?
Yes,
Clean
Mayor.
Coast, Texas? Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I want to remind everybody that this event is taking place tomorrow morning over at Carbide Park. It is our green infrastructure workshop. The capacity is 50. I believe as of earlier today, the flyer is here. There's still time to register. I believe we had 44 or 46 registrants already, but we will have standing room available for those who still may want to attend. But we plan on being there tomorrow morning to welcome guests. It is a workshop on green infrastructure and how best we could deal with our stormwater issues, and we could think of outside the box ways of dealing with it. Besides that, obviously, it was mentioned tonight about the parade coming up, and also I believe there's a flyer out here announcing and save the date for our municipal fair. That includes some of the items that we have, Mayor. Thank you.
Very good. Let's move to council. Let's start by seniority in reverse.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It's already shuffling papers. Let's give her a chance. Let's see if we can, James, let's lead it off. Let's give Ms. Already a chance to collect her thoughts.
All right. So once again, I want to thank the fire department for letting me go out on the 2nd and having a great time melting reflective tape on my helmet and just enjoying my time out there with y'all. Veterans Day. I don't remember. I did not count tables, but I know we had 9 tables of 8. So we could have up to 72 people sitting. And most of the tables had anywhere from 5 to 7. So it was amazing to see everybody out there. We came together, made sure we got the food out, even with the snafu on some of the equipment. Caesar, it was amazing watching you flip pancakes back there in the back.
Kyle over here with
Pennington out there helping getting all the dishes put away. Kyle helping me slam some bacon out, got the eggs out. It was a great time. I heard from several residents that even though the food was late, they had a great time talking with the veterans sitting at their tables. I want to thank the Chosen One Outreach Ministry of Galveston for donating the money for all the food to it. Ended up costing the city no money between them and the VFW for donating the hall and everything. It was a great event, had a great time. Look forward to an even bigger and better one next year. Mayor, enjoyed watching you serve out some pancakes to the people that came. Fire department for being there to help us, the police department for coming out and setting up and helping. It was a great time. I can't thank everybody enough. And now that I know that Keep Lamarck Beautiful is doing a tree giveaway, I'm going to make sure I'm out there earlier than I was last year, trying to hope there was a tree. JB, I'll never be able to thank you enough for everything. I just can't wait. December 9th, the VFW 8248 is having a Christmas party that night, adults only. You can go to their Facebook page, get tickets, $10 a person, $15 a couple. Also, it's the Army Navy game, so I'm throwing out a gauntlet for our city manager. The 11th, I plan on bringing him a Navy jersey to wear the first meeting in January so that my Army buddy can support his Navy brethren if he accepts the challenge.
Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. Absolutely. Whoa.
Is it my turn?
And that's all I got.
Okay. Am I next, Mayor?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Just wanted to say, we have had the last 3 weeks have been amazing in Lamarck with the different activities with the fall sweep, the Veterans Day. I've personally been visiting some of our feeder schools. I've gone to Haley, I've gone to Giles, and I've gone to the high school just to see some of the programs that are there that are in partnership with the city of Lamarck, partnerships that we did not have 3 years ago that have definitely made a difference. Also working with our public library as well. So it's been really interesting to see that what has impacted the city of Lamarck. When you talk to some of our children that live in Lamarck, they see the improvement as well, as far as the LED lights walking down Lake Road. Now when you see a kid walking with a backpack and you see a basketball, it's a group of 5, you actually can see them as they're walking. So they're not doing anything wrong. They're walking from point A to point B. So some of them mentioned that to us because I wanted to know, what do you see the city improving on? And a lot of them talked about community, that there's a greater sense of community that we see. So again, I visited those schools, met some of the new principals and some of the people that are moving to Lamarck. I found out that we have a local gospel artist that just moved to Lamarck, and she was spotted at Walmart. I'm not going to say who she is because she's not ready to let everybody know that she's down here. But once people find out, you're going to go berserk. So anyway, and that was encouraging. And she said, I love it here in the city of Lamarck. By the way, Joe, I think she's in your district, Joe. I do tell you that. So that's nice to see that someone that's from the other side of Houston chose to come to our city of 20,000. The other thing was I talked to the coach of Lamarck Chargers. They're a new team. Their 7-year-old team went to the Super Bowl. I have not heard that they won or not. Did they win? They didn't win. All right, but they went. So we're excited about that because they're coach is a Cougar, graduated from Marque. He lives in League City, but he wanted to come back home to start his Little League squad, his Little League sports organization, and they have done very well in partnership with Lamarck High School. So we're real proud of District A. We're really proud to represent Lamarck. This last Wednesday, we went to the Galveston County Mayors and Councilman dinner, where we faithfully go every other month to represent Lamarck. And we brag and we talk about the good things that are happening. And so that was a good chance to talk to some of our naysayers that are now like, hey, Kimberly, we see what you've been talking about Lamarck. I said, oh, do you really? Because sometimes when you say it long enough and you have the data to back it up, it makes those non-believers begin to believe. So I'm a cheerleader for our city. And so I'm really excited about what we have coming up. Our Christmas parade is always outstanding. We have a good time. We have great participation the last 2 years. And it's good participation. We can go visit the schools and the kids say, Ms. Yancey, when is the Christmas parade? Now, I taught for almost 16 years in this area and never had I had a kid ask me that. But now they're asking those questions because now they're more involved in their city. And that was really cool to have. And I was proud to say December 5th, get ready. So yes. Thank you, JB, for that. So I'm excited about what's coming. And you all, this is a season that not everyone has food. So please remember your neighbors. If you have some extras, reach out to your neighbors, invite them, or take food to them. That's a tradition that we have on Meadow Lane, that we always try to take a dessert to our neighbors. So I encourage everyone to be neighborly in the next 2 weeks, because these are tough times. And so there are families out there that may not have. So let's not forget about our neighbors. Thanks so much, Mayor. That's all I have.
Good. Ms. Allred?
I just wanted to say that the Veterans Day breakfast was very nice. I stopped by. We were a little late, but it was very nice. There were a bunch of people that came out, and that was nice to see. My dad being a veteran, I enjoy everything, that you guys did. We appreciate it. Bayou Fest was another good event we participate in every year. We have a cook team, and it was a good turnout. It was a wonderful time. No issues that I saw out there. Everybody gets along. It's a very friendly event. And I'm just excited to hear what the citizens need from me. And I'm open to speaking to anyone that would like to speak to me.
Thank you, Ms. Allred. Mayor Pro Tem?
First, welcome, Ms. Councilwoman Person Aldridge to our city council. So I know your family well, and that's great to see folks from our community getting involved in city government at all levels. I want to say also thanks to Council Member Yancey for her involvement with the schools. Along those lines, I think all of us have probably seen the construction fence that has already been put up around the campus of the Lamarck High School. Therefore, Mr. City Manager, I would ask that we get some regular updates from the school district as to the progress that's being made out there, the construction schedules, updates at the new City of Lamarck mobile website with regard to any traffic delays or closures that may happen as that construction is going on. I certainly live in that neighborhood too, so we'd appreciate that. And also with all the new sidewalks going on, I'd love if we could organize, and Ms. Yancey, you're in District A, and I'm there down the street along the ones that are there along Texas Avenue that go all the way up to Boche. I see young people now no longer walking in the middle of the street. They're starting to use the sidewalk, even though it's not completely constructed. But I know we've seen many of those ads and papers about when the car dealerships are encouraging people to say, bring us your vehicle, whether it runs or not. Perhaps we could have something similar in terms of the sidewalk recognition day, to have some event that says, whether you come in a bike, a wheelchair, or anything, let's have some walkable event on the new sidewalks over there and involve the businesses such as the CVS and Kelly's, the Sonic, things of that nature on those there. That's all. And so, as we say here in Costa Rica, pura vida, go out and enjoy life. Thank you.
That's a good idea, city manager.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I wanted to certainly throw my support behind this opportunity that we have had before us earlier through this Galveston County Hope organization. Anytime we can allow for our children to be cared for, to put smiles on their faces, to give back, I think that we should be able to facilitate that. And so I look forward to supporting that effort, provided that all of the necessary documents are provided for a plan for security as well. Look forward to that event, though. I want to make sure that we do everything in our power to do those things for our children. KLMBC is having a tree giveaway this Saturday. We heard that earlier. I believe Kids Fish has been rescheduled for this Saturday. Is that right? Or no? Is that right?
Yes.
Kids Fish, the Kids Fish tournament at Highland Bayou, McGaffey Highland Bayou Park has been rescheduled for this Saturday. Certainly, you don't want to miss that. Mr. Garcia, we've been talking quite some time about this idea that we need to elevate the salaries of our equipment operators. This council provided at least $70,000 to $75,000, not for 130 some odd staff members, but for targeted adjustments for key personnel. And one of those targeted adjustments was an equipment operator. And I agree with not only what was said earlier, but what has been said by this council, even before what was said earlier. We have a Gradall that we purchased that can be effective in mitigating issues with drainage, effective in clearing out our drainage ditches. And so that $70,000, I want to be clear, is for those targeted adjustments. And I want to make sure that we're doing that. I think that we should take into consideration what Miss Virginia Manette said to us earlier as it relates to a more efficient way to get sidewalks repaired, not only in Saltgrass, but in other parts of our community. If there is an efficient way, a more efficient way, we need to hear her out and we need to investigate that. And I'd like for you to respond to council after you've investigated that to let us know if that's a viable option or not. I'd like to see an update on our Marque 2050 program. Without a vision, the people perish. It's old wisdom, literature, scripture. Certainly we want to have vision. I wanted to thank those members that participated in Veterans Day. What a wonderful day to honor those service members that are still with us. There is an old saying that you should give folks their flowers while they are still alive. And that's what Veterans Day is all about. Our city participated, partnered with the local VFW organization, and it was a wonderful day filled with wonderful people and wonderful stories. And I thank, again, as I said that day, I thank God for their service, for your service, each of you that have served this country. And look forward to many, many more of those wonderful, wonderful events. We are coming upon our volunteer appreciation dinner. And with that, we always have, well, not always, this is the second year in a row, I think, that we're going to have our award for the Volunteer Board of the Year. I believe that at some point here, sooner rather than later, Mr. Pritchett will provide for an opportunity to vote, as last year, on our website. We have seen our KLMBC, our Parks Board, and other boards and commissions work in our community this past year. It's up to us as a community to support the board that we believe has been the most effective. It's a fun competition. Our boards really enjoy it. The winner will be awarded at our appreciation dinner, breakfast, lunch, whatever that will be. But again, we certainly look forward to voting. It is true that the Lamarque Chargers, the Pee Wee division, made it to the Super Bowl this year in their first year of existence. And boy, are we proud of those young people for their perseverance, for their passion, for their play. And we fell short this time, but we know that there will be many, many more Super Bowls to come. And if at all possible, we would like to visit with them, Mr. Garcia. I don't know what that looks like, but definitely we'd like to visit with them and show them our support, because that's a wonderful, wonderful story for our community.
So,
Lastly, I wanted to definitely welcome Mrs. Allred to our council. We have a great council, and certainly we're excited about new voice, new ideas, new presence on our council. It can't get any better than what we have now with you as a part of our team, and we know that we'll soar even higher than we've soared before. Having said that, we certainly want to thank Mr. Carlson for his service. Mr. Carlson served District C with distinction, and we thank him for his service and wish him well in his endeavors in the great state of Oregon. Yes, ma'am, you can.
One thing that I forgot to say, can we make sure we have a building standards meeting in the month of December? We definitely need to do that, city manager. Okay.
Very good. That's all we had. We want you to enjoy your Thanksgiving. There's a lot for us to be thankful for. Certainly, we look forward to our meeting in December. Mr. Garcia, do you have?
We have 2 executive sessions.
We're going to get to that. Yeah. We're not going home, Gus. Mr. Garcia, did you have?
no, sir. Mayor, thank you. Welcome to Councilwoman Aldred, and we look forward to continuing the work of the city. Thank you.
Very good. Let's now move to item 14, executive session. The city council for the city of Lamarque, Texas reserves the right to adjourn an executive session at any time during this meeting to discuss any of the matters listed above, as authorized by the Texas Government Code, section 551.071, consultation with attorney, 551.072, deliberations about real property, 551.073, deliberations about gifts and donations, 551.074, personnel matters, 551.076, deliberations about security devices, and 551.087, economic development. Tonight, the council will deliberate on 14.1, consultation with attorney, 551.071, as it relates to the aqueous film forming foam product liability litigation, MDL 2873, in the district court for the District of South Carolina, master docket number 2, semicolon, 18-MN-2873-RMG, and 14.2, consultation with attorney, 551.071, consultation with attorney regarding Adrian Jones versus the city of Lamarque, cause number CV 3:23-CV-00065 in the Southern District Court of Texas, the Galveston Division. We will recess. Yes, go ahead.
Mayor,
Yes.
I will not be participating in the executive session portion. I'll
Very
leave it
good.
in your capable hands and the council and our city attorney. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Enjoy your time in Costa Rica.
Thank you. Bye.
We will recess this regular meeting at
7:44.
and move into executive session.
Oh, don't forget about the cupcakes. And, oh, there's all baked.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can redo it.
You see?
We can, because we don't, all of your family and everybody's left.
Yeah.
See if we can redo it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You still want to take them cupcakes home?
Sure.
Yeah, no, let's try to redo it.
Let's do it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Do it done.
Do that, or you're gonna make.
Ma'am? It's fine.
We can do it before too.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it maybe like,
Yes, ma'am.
December 11th is the next meeting.
James.
Fans are just killing my eyeballs.
I want to make sure we celebrate.
I don't think I can bring this to the, normally we, you know, then
Right now.
the meeting was just a little odd.
It's got a lot, I got a long thing.
Well, we need first one done.
And I don't.
Hope he got off thinking we were done. Gus, did you see that Nathan jumped off?
Yeah. I
Trying to put him back on.
Yeah, I know. It's supposed to be moving. Next. I'll get back on. Yes.
I know you're the president said he is stepping away, and you're not gonna run this year because he's
I like energy and water stuff.
I was like, I know you're the energy guy. I was like, if anybody's all of them have their thing. Everybody has a thing. I try to keep up with everybody's thing. It kind of target the communications regarding that. Everybody gets it, but we pretty much.
I didn't know exactly. I'll turn on this one. But yeah, anything about power. You can unmute it. That's already got.
Terry C reached out to us recently about. And she loves out.
Oh, she does. I mean. I told her she had 2 years to come and let me Brooksville. I already got a small in college, of young and setter.
He caught me off guard. I was like a little emotional after my dad. So he was like, you want to say something? I was like, trying to gather myself.
I do, but not now.
Decided to jump in.
I will need to spend some time with you over the next week or so, and then tomorrow, but, that got a month, so our next meeting, there's some things I need to give you. So you can- There's a lot, as the last person elected, there's a lot of reading in the beginning, but I can get you all that information.
Okay.
Get you your laptop, get your badge.
We get off at noon on Fridays, so if that works for you, if not.
And I was like, we know that they're not Fridays too.
I get off at 4.
Yeah.
Probably.
I believe the next one is in January. I'm looking up there, like, they said that, oh, like, it's coming soon, but they didn't give me a date just yet. So there's some training you'll have to go to for a couple of days.
3 days. Can't remember.
I think it's 2 days, so we send you, you'll be gone for 36. It's usually in the middle of nowhere, Texas, but.
Right, it really wasn't the middle of nowhere.
Everybody else looks like that.
Really, yeah. Plus, I mean, my view was construction, you know.
Let the police officer-
Welcome back to our regular Lamarque City Council meeting. We have just returned from executive session. And we've ended the executive session at,
8:21.
and we reopen our regular meeting at 8:21 as well. We will move to item 15, actions to be taken from executive session. 15:1, upon consultation with attorney, 551.071, Aqueous Film Forming Foam, product liability litigation, MDL 2873, in the District Court of the District of South Carolina, master docket number 2:18-MN-2873-RMG. I will entertain a motion.
I move that we opt out.
Is that a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Item 16, adjournment. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.